So now, after finishing the first topic, UiPath Studio, we're going to go to the second topic where we're going to talk about activities and properties. This is one of the most important topics because it's not only necessary for the certification, but it's also really important in your day-to-day job, meaning that this information that's going to be shared in this video, it's not only going to help you for the preparation, but also in your day-to-day job. So stay focused and watch this video until the end. That being said, let's jump to my screen and start with the first question. Okay, so the first question is quite direct. You are working with an application that allows all type of input methods for the type into activity. Which property should be enabled for the fastest execution? SendWindowMessages, SimulateType, ClickBeforeTyping, or EmptyField. Okay, so input methods is really important in the certification because they're going to be, I think, 3 or 4 questions only about them. And it's really important to understand them, not only for the certification, but also for your day-to-day job. I think it's one of the first things that we start learning when we are starting to learn UiPath. Okay, so what is the fastest method? This is a direct answer that you always have to remember, and it's SimulateType. The SimulateType for type into activities or SimulateClick for click activities are always the fastest. Now, let's go to UiPath documentation and read the information that we have about this. By the way, you're going to find this link in the description below. Here we have the first input method, which is hardware event, which is 50% speed, SendWindowMessages, 50% speed, SimulateType, 100% speed, the fastest amongst all of them. These are the 3 that we need to know because the new one, Chromium API, only exists in the modern design, which is not existent in the certification. So you can ignore this if you're preparing for the certification. So here, the difference between all of them is actually the compatibility, because sometimes the SimulateType and SimulateClick are not as compatible as the hardware events, for example, which is almost compatible with everything. So that's why we need to change and try different input methods. Otherwise, you're always going to try to use the SimulateType or SimulateClick whenever you are automating any new user interface interaction. So yeah, the fastest is definitely the SimulateType, SimulateClick. That's a direct answer that you have to give. So here, the right answer is SimulateType. ClickBeforeTyping and EmptyField are not even an input method. It's different properties, so you should not even look at them as viable answers in this case. They are just basically placeholders. So that's the answer for the first question. So let's go to the second question. A developer configured the properties for a click activity on an element inside a web page as shown in the following graphic. So continue on error, we have true. We don't have a delay after or delay before. We have a click single, and we don't have a timeout. And wait for ready is complete. So the question now is, during runtime, the selector is invalid and does not match any elements on the web page. What occurs when this click activity executes? Selector not found error occurs after 30 seconds. Execute the next activity after the timeout expires. Timeout error occurs after 30 seconds. Wait 30 seconds before clicking in the center of the web page. Okay, so instead of just giving the answer like that, I actually created this process. It's a really simple process so that we can actually try it. So let's run the process and see what's going to happen. As you can see here, I have created a process that opens the browser, opens Google web page, the search web page. And here I have a click on an element that doesn't exist. And of course, I have a continue on error. I have a delay after, and I have a delay before. And then I have left the timeouts empty. So I have basically done the same thing. So let's run the process and see what's going to happen. Okay, so the process I finished. It opens Google web page. It didn't find the element to click, and it basically just went to the second, executed the next activity. So let's go back to the question. Here, let's read the answers. Let's click on OK. We have finished this process. selector not found error occurs after 30 seconds. So this option is really wrong because selector not found error is not going to be given. There's no error that's going to be shown. And it's going to occur after 30 seconds. We don't know that because we don't know the timeout in here. 30 seconds is the default timeout, but maybe they have changed it in the general settings. Here, if we go to projects and go to the gear icon, and for example, I go to UI Automation Classic, this timeout, it's 30 seconds, 30,000 by default, but maybe they have changed it to a different value. For here, I have 1 second. So this answer is really wrong and it doesn't have any meaning. So this answer is wrong. Let's see the second answer. Executes the next activity after the timeout expires. So it didn't say that the timeout is 30 seconds or whatever. And it said that it's execute the next activity, which is right. So this is the right answer. The two parts of this answer is right. So this makes it right. Let's read the other ones because we have to be sure that the other ones are wrong as well. Timeout error occurs after 30 seconds. There's no timeout error and it doesn't occur after 30 seconds because the continuing error is ticked. Wait 30 seconds before clicking in the center of the web page. We don't have any element to click on. It didn't find the selector. And yeah, it doesn't wait 30 seconds. So this is wrong as well. So the only answer that's right is this one. Okay, so let's go to the next question. If you want to read a specific set of pages from a PDF file using the extract PDF page range activity, what describes this activity? Okay, so before reading the answers, let's also go to UiPath just to make sure that we are going to have our demonstration. So first of all, if you want to have the PDF activities, just go to all packages and search for PDF or UiPath.pdf and install this activity. It's not installed by default. So install that one. And after that, you can use the extract PDF range activity. So let's read the answers now. If range equals an empty string is provided, it will read data from all the pages present in the .pdf file. Output of the activity is a string variable containing data from all the pages read. Expression start page number hyphen and page number is a valid expression for the range field. Password protected .pdfs cannot be read using this activity. Okay, so let's see the first answer. Let's see the first possibility. So let's go back to UiPath and here, let's go to properties. And in this range, let's just put an empty string, okay? And let's run the process and see what's going to happen. Let's debug it. Okay, we have an error. So the range argument does not have a valid format. So as you can see, this is wrong. And I will understand if someone thinks it's right, because sometimes when we have this range in an Excel application scope or in a read range activity, if we let it empty, it means that you can actually read everything. But in a PDF, the range can never be an empty string. So in this case, it is wrong. So the first answer is wrong. Let's see the second one. Output of the activity is a string variable containing data from all the pages read. The output of this activity is an extraction of the PDF. The input is going to be a PDF, and the output is going to be a PDF with the pages that we have extracted. So the output itself is going to be also a PDF. There's another activity that we use in order to read the content of a PDF. It's called read PDF text. So this activity, read PDF text, is the one that takes a PDF in the input and it gives us a string in the output with the content of that PDF. But this activity, it extracts PDF pages. So it has nothing to do with the string. So this answer is wrong. Let's see the third answer. Expression start page number hyphen and page number is a valid expression for the range field. This is right, because this is actually how we configure the range field if we want to extract the pages from a given PDF. So here, let's go to the documentation just to make sure. Okay, so here we are in the documentation of the extract PDF page range activity. And here, as you can see, the range of pages that you want to retrieve, you can specify a single page, so we can have just one number, or a range of pages, so from one number to another number, meaning that we are going to go from one to the other. So this is why the third answer is the right answer. We're going to go further. If we want a complex range, for example, we want to extract the 2 first pages and the 5th page, then the 7th page, for example, we can have a complex number inside of the range that will give us what we want. So we're going to have 2 to 5, for example, then the 7th page, then from 15 to the end. So this is going to give us the right range that we want. So we can have complex range inside of that activity, which makes it very useful. And then if we want all of the pages, meaning that we're going to have the same PDF in the input and in the output, meaning that you're going to duplicate the PDF basically and copy it, we just have all. We can't have an empty string, we just have all. So yeah, that's basically it. This is why this answer is the right answer. And password protected PDFs cannot be read. That's wrong as well, because if we go to the activity and we go to properties, here you can see that we have the password property, meaning that we can basically give the password if the PDF is password protected. So this is basically wrong, and this is the right answer, the third one. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's see the last question of this video. What are the differences between SendWindowsMessage and SimulateType input methods? SendWindowsMessage is compatible with 80% of the applications. SimulateType is compatible with 100% of the applications. This is wrong. We said that SimulateType is the one that is least compatible with the applications. So yeah, this is wrong. SendWindowsMessages does not work in the background. SimulateType does not work in the background. This is also wrong because SendWindowsMessage works in the background and SimulateType works in the background. So both of them actually works in the background. And the only one that doesn't work in the background is the hardware event. Exactly. So no, background execution, and here we have yes. Okay. SendWindowsMessages has hotkey support. SimulateType does not have hotkey support. Okay. So this is actually the right answer. One of the drawbacks of SimulateType is the fact that it doesn't have hotkey support. So if you try to have a hotkey like an enter or a tab or a different hotkey, it's not going to work. It will literally type everything you gave it. So this is one of the drawbacks of SimulateType, and it's actually one of the advantages that we have in SendWindowsMessages. So if we go back to the documentation and we read this, you can see that the hotkey supports yes, yes, and no. So SimulateType and Click does not have hotkey support. Well, SimulateType does not have hotkey support. Okay, so now let's go to the last answer just to see, to make sure that it's wrong. SendWindowsMessages auto empties the input field. SimulateType does not auto empty the input field. Well, this is actually wrong because the SendWindowsMessage does not empty the field automatically, while SimulateType actually empties it. So this answer is actually kind of the opposite of what it should be to be the right answer. So this is also the wrong answer, and the right answer is the third one. Well, that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I am going to have another video about this topic, which is going to be the last video before going to the next topic that's going to help you prepare for your certification. If you like this type of content, drop a like and subscribe. And until next time, you guys be safe.